What's up, sports bettors? I always get so sad when football is winding down for the week on a Sunday. But the way you get through that is you start to look for early, sharp betting opportunities in the upcoming week. So you can see here I have college football lines. I'm looking at the total points market. You can look at any market, of course, for week 11. Lines are already moving around a bit. As you can see right here, the line movements are highlighted for you on the OddsJam screen. So what I like to do early in the week is sometimes you can just very quickly scan through the screen and find discrepancies, right? So if we continue to scroll, you'll notice here it's like, wow, in the Ohio versus Miami, Ohio game, FanDuel has the total set at an over-under of 51.5. Caesars is at an over-under of 50.5, right? Caesars has their line at 50.5. PointsBet's at 50, right? So you can literally look through the books and look for soft spots in sportsbooks. Where are sportsbooks screwing up? And I'll give you an example of two early plays I ended up locking in. So the first play that I ended up going with is right here in the Tulsa-Memphis game. So if we click into the odds, what you'll notice is I was able to get under 63.5 total points at minus 110 odds on FanDuel. Most other sportsbooks, they have the line set at 62 or 62.5. So that may not seem like a big difference, but again, as a sharp bettor, when you're placing bets at minus 110 odds, if we just go over to a no-vig odds calculator, an odds converter calculator, when you're betting at minus 110 juice, you only need to win 52.38% of your bets to break even. As a sharp bettor, it's not about winning every bet. It's about finding value and enough value to beat the vig, beat the juice, right? So most sports books, they charge minus 110 juice on the over and the under. They force you to bet 11 to win back 10. And all that means is you can't win on over-unders 50% of the time. If you were blindly selecting for every game over or under, literally if you shut your eyes and you picked over or under, you'd be winning 50% of the time in the long run. You'd have no edge or no advantage. Every game goes over or under. So if you're blindly betting over or under, you're going to win 50% of the time. So as a sharp bettor, when you're betting at minus 110 juice, all you have to do is win an extra 2.38% of the time, right? Pro sports bettors, people who do this full-time for a living, they're looking to win on point spread wagers, over 52.38% of the time. 55% of the time makes you profitable in the long run. So what OddsJam does is it shows you these soft spots on sportsbooks where here, clearly, FanDuel's off from the rest of the market. They're the only sportsbook setting the line at an OU of 63.5. Every other sportsbook is 62 or 62.5. You can see Bet Online and Pinnacle, which are two of the sharpest offshore sportsbooks. Pinnacle is well regarded as the sharpest sportsbook in the world. They're setting the over-under at 62, so 1.5 points lower. So being able to get this under 1.5 points, higher, where if there's 63 points in the game or 62, we're cashing, they're losing or pushing. That's how you make money sports betting, right? You find value in the odds. You use all of this real-time market data, market information to find discrepancies. You're kind of like a detective or an investor. You're hunting through the market looking for value. If the value's in college football, you bet on college football. The value's on FanDuel, you bet on FanDuel. The value's on DraftKings, you bet on DraftKings, right? You follow the value, you follow the market, and you look for discrepancies. So here, it's just kind of rational. PointsBet has this minus 130. Bet99 and 5 Dimes have this minus 120, minus 124. In Pinnacle, same as the OddsJam column, the sharpest bookmaker in the world, they're pricing this at minus 131. So clearly we're getting a lot of value at minus 110 odds, and that's a play we want to be all over on FanDuel, an early line discrepancy, right? And the way I found this is it showed up on the arbitrage page. So arbitrage just means the sportsbooks, their odds are so far apart from one another that you could bet on the over on one sportsbook, the under on another sportsbook, and earn a risk-free profit. We have some video tutorials kind of about arbitrage betting. Definitely recommend watching them, checking them out. You can make risk-free money sports betting. It's hard, requires hustle. Making money sports betting is not easy, requires time. All things require time. You're never going to get rich sports betting overnight, right? You might as well go play the scratch-off lottery if you're looking for that crazy college football parlay that's going to make you a millionaire overnight. The way that you make money sports betting consistently is you hunt for edges, you hunt for line discrepancies, spots on sportsbooks where they're missing line movements and you can get value. So that's the first play I went with. And again, this is in the Tulsa-Memphis game. Then the next play I went with right here is Buffalo Central Michigan under 56.5. Once again, all the sportsbooks minus 120, minus 130. Pinnacle has this under at minus 131. They have the over at plus 112. So the under is the favored outcome, right? The under lines are juiced towards the under on these sportsbooks. So the under is favored, right? So when Pinnacle has the under at minus 131 and the over at plus 112, that means their model, which you can see in a no-vig calculator, what this calculator does is it takes a sportsbook's market, removes the juice, right? It says if the sportsbooks weren't charging juice, what would the true odds be? You know, it's kind of like if someone tells you, hey, I'll buy this baseball card for $5, I'll sell it for $6. It's like, well, they'll buy it for $5, they'll sell it for $6. They probably think it's worth somewhere in the middle, $5.50. That's the fair price. Here, it's the same thing. The fair odds with the VIG removed are minus 120. So we're winning this point spread bet at minus 110 odds 54.59% of the time. And again, when you're betting at minus 110 juice, you only need to win 52.38% of the time to break even. And we're winning this play, you know, when according to the sharpest sportsbook in the world, we're winning it like 54.6% of the time or whatever it was. So it's a sharp, data-driven, profitable bet. So I ended up locking in these two college football plays, tons of bets, obviously, and I added them to my sheet where I'm tracking profit and loss. So we're up 31K since the start of football season. I added these two plays to the sheet, early line discrepancies in college football. And again, if you're like, why did you only bet 247.50? What you're going to notice is, you know, that's kind of what they're letting me bet. FanDuel knows I'm profitable. So early in the week on point spreads and totals, they're like, you can only bet, you know, 247.50 on spreads. So it's like, okay. Then what we can do is we can go back here to the screen. You know, you can switch over to college football and we can be like, any other plays? You know, is there any value in the point spread? Any big discrepancies? And again, you can just hunt for like, okay, you know, here it's like 1 versus 1.5, no massive differences. And you can just kind of like scan the sports books and just look for, is everything in line, right? Is everything in check? And you can try to see if there's any spots with value, right? And follow these line movements. And maybe you'll be able to find some. Maybe you won't. 11.5. So it doesn't look like maybe this Florida State play. I mean, most sports books have the spread at 6, 6.5. You're getting it, you know, minus 5.5. So we can go back here. You know, you can go back to the arbitrage page. This market's dynamic, and just try to see any new betting opportunities come out. Whoa, an incredible play on Vukovic for the NBA, but that's not relevant to us. So, long story short, you can see if any, right? Like, here are some college football plays. Here are some more college football plays popping up. It's like, wow, okay. So, we want Notre Dame Navy over, Colorado USC under, and Arizona State Washington under. So, right, big line discrepancies once again. So, what we can do is we can just click into the odds. And this is how you think as a sharp bettor. Once again, they're 2.5 points off from the market. Wild. This is a play we got to be all over ASAP. So I want to go to the Arizona State game. And again, is this bet guaranteed to win? No. Does the bet have an edge? Yes. They're giving me 171 only. Are you serious? Okay. So we'll hit it. And again, some sportsbooks will cut you off. They'll lower your betting limits. Doesn't matter how you're making money off them. If you're profitable, they don't have to give you an unlimited bet size. So we have under 57.5, and then this is an ASU versus Washington State. Washington State. So that's play one that we definitely want to be on. You know, just kind of clicking into the odds, 2.5 points off from the market. Seems pretty dang good being able to get that. So that's $171 we got on it at minus 114 odds. And then this bet is for Saturday. So that's going to be the 12th. Right? And then you can continue to go through and just be like, okay, where else is there value? You tell me, OddsJam, scan the market. And all OddsJam's doing, right, is it's taking all these odds and trying to point out to you, hey, here's a spot with value, here's another spot with value. And that's what all these different, tools do and stuff like that. So we can continue to go through. We can take a look at this Colorado USC bet. You can take a look at, this over in Notre Dame Navy. So Colorado USC, once again, they're off from the market. 2 points, right? That's a big deal. Under 65.5, Colorado USC, lock it in. So this is another bet. Let's see how much they give us on this. It's a little strange. So they're back to giving us 247.50. So Colorado USC under 65.5. Colorado USC under 65.5. 247.50 at minus 110 odds. And then this game's on Saturday, I believe. No, this game's on Friday. So we have a full assortment of days with college football. Or days where we're going to have college football action on. So then there was one final play. I think it was Notre Dame Navy. Here it's like, okay, wow. Once again, 2 points off from the market, 1 point off from Caesars. As a data-driven bettor, it's like, yeah, this is a play where we're getting enough value to beat the vig, beat the juice, and I have a bet with an edge, right? I have a mathematically profitable bet. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to lock this play in as well. So then we have Notre Dame Navy, and that's over, that's at minus 110 odds as well. So we have Notre Dame Navy over 41.5. And we found some spots with value, which is great. So what we can do next is just like, okay, maybe some new bets showed up. It seems like a lot of sports books are releasing college football odds right now. So we can go back here and just see if we can spot any value. Doesn't look like any new plays. So let's make some money, guys. Those are, I guess we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 unders. They're all unders, right? FanDuel's a lot of value in the unders, it looks like. So 5 college football bets I ended up taking. I ride, obviously, with you guys on all these plays that I give out on this YouTube channel. And we have, a good amount of early college football bets already for next week. Locked and loaded. Let's make some money.